Hey guys, welcome to my channel. As you guys know, my hair grows fairly fast. I've cut it and now this is about 2 weeks new growth. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I maintain this shape by doing what is called a soft fade, a feminine fade. I don't like a bald fade or a harsh fade. I like to have some hair there. So I'm actually starting off with my hair froed out, and I'm just checking the cut of my hair and fixing in any areas. And I do use a pair of scissors and I cut bluntly to make sure the ends are curled well. This is a number 4 guard. This means close or open. So open means that the teeth are open this way. Close means it's together. So with that little tip, I always use a guard, and I cut my hair with the clippers closed, meaning the teeth are together like I just mentioned. And this is just me shaving some of it down, making sure that everything blends in before I actually start the fade technique. So here I am. I'm going to start with the number 1 guard. I do have a 0 guard, but I chose to use the 1 because it gives me a good enough hair left behind. And I'm actually going to start by cutting upwards or against the grain along my hairline. And what I'm creating is a guideline to use to fade it in. So just using the guard and going in an upward or against the grain motion along my hairline. So I know you see me going back and forth from side to side. This is actually the easiest way for me so that I can make sure that it looks somewhat similar on both sides, because I do switch hands when I cut. So I cut right hand, right side, left hand, left side. So that's just how I cut my hair. So I'm sure you noticed that there is a difference in my right side to my left side. It seems like it's less hair on the left side as opposed to my right, but I will be fixing that. So in this case, I'm going with the number 2 guard and I'm going upwards. So this is just me kind of blending that in first before I go in the opposite direction. So using the number 2 guard and going upwards, like flicking it upward. So when I go down the opposite way, I'll be able to blend it, but you guys will see what I mean. So now after flipping or flicking it up with my clippers with the number 2 guard, I have to brush the hairs down, and you can see it's almost just about blended. So I go back to the number 1 guard and then I go downward, and this helps me take the bulk out of the edges or the line demarcation where I created like that guideline between the two to blend it. This is just how I blend my hair. So I go upwards and then I go downwards with the number 1 guard to blend my much shorter part to my somewhat short part of my hair. This is just to blend that in. So now with the zero guard, this is me getting ready to work on my hairline, the edges, taking the bulk out of the actual hairline, edge of my hairline. So when I do the next part, which is actually the lineup, it looks smoother and it's a greater transition when I cut it. So, or when I actually do my line up my edges. I can't talk today. This is the blender, and this is what I use to kind of continue to blend in areas that are the most hardest for me, which happens to be my right side. Interestingly, this takes some time. Everybody's hair texture is different, and my hair tends to be a lot more straighter to the right side than it is to my left because I sleep on my left side. So it's kind of an interesting thing. So blending on my left side, which is what you see me doing right now, is actually a lot easier. But you will see that I'm working much harder on my right side than my left. So it doesn't take me as long or to get that blend in. But if you notice on my right side, for some apparent reason, I just have to work harder at, the blending. It's the technique, it's learning, and I'm okay because I cut my own hair. So I'm okay learning the technique on myself. So after so much work of trying to fade and blend in my right side mostly, this is where I began doing the lineup, and sometimes I'll go downward just so I can get that slight fade at the nape, but everywhere else I focus more so on getting that nice clean line for my lineup. Now for me, I do prefer to have my hairline lined up. I like that. It works with the shape that I'm giving it, a more roundness instead of a edgy or more edged up like it would be if it was more of a masculine cut. So I like to round it up, but I do go upwards and then down just to take some of the bulk out of the edges if I have that at all, because it usually happens with my hair. And then I line it up. So this is a shaver. It also has an epilator head that's separate, but I use this just so I can clean up the nape of my hair, because I actually have a lot of hair on my neck. I usually do. So I use a shaver just so I can get a much more closer shave, and this is what barbers usually use when they're doing bald fades. So here we are. I went ahead and co-washed my hair and did a wash and go. I used Eco Styler Gel to define my curls a little bit more, my curl pattern a little bit more, and this is what we come out with. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thumbs this video up if you found it helpful, if you learned something and you feel a little confident to do it on your own. Otherwise, check out all of these videos in my natural hair playlist. Thumbs this video up again. Please make sure you subscribe if you are not for more videos, and I will definitely see you guys in the next one.